Wishes. Xena wishes to spend one day without my powers. It's the quiet that hits me first, the complete visceral silence. Then came the dark. I thought I knew the dark. I spent hours staying up all night writing my findings, consulting with Anakin, but nothing could prepare me for this darkness. I'd wished for a day without my powers, but I'd never fully considered the cost. I'd given up my eyes, my ears, and now as I tried to scream, my voice. There's a certain fear they can never prepare you for. When you lose everything you once took for granted, I should have been more careful with my words. It's a rookie mistake, but I wished that I wished, and now I have to deal with it. Besides, it's only 24 hours, I can handle that. I spent most of the day napping on the sofa. I can't see where I'm going, so I might as well just stay put. It's my hunger that wakes me up. I can't hear my stomach, but I can feel it gurgling away, crying out to be fed. So I get up and head towards the kitchen and walk face first into the wall. I reach for my nose and feel the blood trickle over my hand. I must have hit it pretty hard. I turn around and head back for the chair, then plonk myself back down on it, holding my nose with my bare hand, resting my other hand down on the seat next to me. It begins to feel slimy. At first I think it's the blood, and then I realise. Anakin. I try to call out, but no sound leaves my body. He nestles into my palm, telling me he's there. I miss his voice. It's been a source of comfort for me since I'd found him. The amount of stories he'd tell me about a faraway land where toads owned the swamps and fairies owned the gardens. I guess there was some fact to those fictions. Did Anakin come from this land, or is he just descended from it? I'll have to ask him when I return back to my own realm. This wish realm is starting to suck. My stomach gurgles again. Anakin hops on my palm. I know this means he wants me to walk him, even though I can't hear his voice. I've known him so long, I've picked up on his little toadisms. When he'd say something like, "Let's go for a walk," he'd always do a little hop. I get to my feet and he begins tapping my palm with his foot, telling me to go forward. I follow him until he stops and turns to the right. I follow his signal and carry on forward again. I feel the cold touch of the kitchen floor beneath my bare feet. He guides me over to the table. I take a seat and he brings over a bag of corn chips. I thank him with a stroke of his chin with my index finger and eat away. With Anakin as my guide, I know I can get through this day. And I do. He helps me with everything, moving around, finding things. After a few hours it starts to feel second nature. You'd think it would be excruciating losing your senses, like the world has ended, but honestly it's not so bad. The initial fear is horrible, of course, but when this is your new reality, you just got to deal with it. I'm only going to be blind, deaf and mute for the day. There are so many who live their whole lives or the rest of their lives like this. I'd be doing them a huge disservice by complaining. They are just getting on with their lives. They don't need our sympathy. They don't need anything from us other than to listen to them, whether it be through our ears or by watching their actions. It's amazing how many ways there are to communicate if you give it a chance. I fall back to sleep with Anakin in my palm, and I wake up a few hours later to him disappearing. I get to my feet trying to feel around for him, and then all the lights and the sounds of the world rush at my face.